today I am walking you through the 5 ways you are blocking yourself from losing body fat as a petite woman, 5'4" and shorter, and how you're keeping yourself from also keeping the weight off once you lose it in the long term. In other words, these are the 5 things blocking you from losing the weight, blocking you from having your dream body, blocking you and sabotaging your results that you've been trying to achieve for many years. And not just the physical results, but also the relationship with food results, the guilt around food, all of the things that you've been trying to heal or improve about your health. So in this video, I'm going to be walking you through those 5 blocks, and we're going to show you how you can stop self-sabotaging using real psychology so that you can understand and break the patterns of behavior. I'm also going to be relating this directly to your journey as a petite woman trying to lose weight. So while this is a psychology that all humans go through when trying to make a change to their health, it's going to be very relevant to you as a shorty and what you've gone through and what you are going through. Along those lines, if you are new to my channel, I just want to say welcome. Thank you for being here. I am so glad that you stumbled upon our community for petites. We're probably one of the only places that I know of on the internet that creates tailored information, scientifically backed information for the petite body type to lose fat and build muscle and just build your most powerful bodies. And if you are not new here, what's up? Welcome back. I have to start by saying that I am a personal trainer, certified nutritionist, and former Olympic level athlete. I have been through many, many trials in my life trying to change my body or my relationship with my body. And what I'm gonna teach you today has profoundly changed the way I think about real transformation. I started my weight loss journey after I retired from my sport of fencing and got into health and fitness. Then I started lifting weights, I started tracking my macros, I started looking at what I was eating. And while I achieved a physical transformation several times, several body recompositions, and I've shared that with you over the years, it truly took over 4 or 5 years to heal all parts of me relating to that journey. For example, maybe you can relate to a time where you lost weight, but then as a result of that, you had residual guilt around eating your favorite foods. Maybe you gained some weight back after losing it a few times and you felt shame or embarrassment or frustration. Maybe even when you did achieve your initial goal, you didn't actually feel as confident as you thought you'd feel, or clothes didn't fit you this way that you still hoped they'd fit. There's been so many aspects to changing my body and my health as a petite over the years that have just taken longer to actually get to this place where I am today. I am 15 pounds lighter. I've overcome many challenges when it comes to my relationship with food. I've helped over 3,000 petite women personally and on my team with experts and registered dietitians change their bodies, but also their minds. And I've really seen a lot through the years about the emotional parts of change. And this is not to say that I am perfect or my clients are perfect. By no means do I feel like I have the hottest body, the most perfect body on YouTube. That's so ridiculous to even say out loud as I'm sitting here. But what matters is that I feel finally at peace with it myself. I feel really happy. And the way I know that is because I do not think about it at all anymore. I don't have any noise in my brain around food, around body image. When someone takes a photo of me, when I wear a bikini, it is gone, but it was not always like that. And if you've been one of my clients for years, you're gonna go on this journey with me in this video and realize that it almost exactly matches what you went through when you started off working with me, when you lost those 15 pounds. From that very first point where you wanted to lose it to losing it, and then all the way through to actually wanting to become the type of person who is just healthy as a petite, really going through that true identity change. Let's dive in. And if you are petite, please subscribe to my channel. Would love to have you be a part of this community for real, and give this video a like. It's the only thing I will ask of you to help support my free content that I make for you, and I really appreciate it. So without further ado, let me introduce you, or if you already know this, let me refresh your mind around what is called the emotional cycle of change. This is the emotional cycle of change you can see right here, and we're gonna start right with stage 1, which is probably for the majority of you watching this, right where you are right now in your life. This is stage, it's called Uninformed Optimism. This is you if you're typically starting off your weight loss journey or your health journey. You're excited, you're hopeful, you're ready to finally change your body. Typically at this point in your emotional change, you are feeling like you have no idea what or how much to eat as a petite. I also hear like, I feel like I've tried everything and nothing is working for my petite body. Or I've tried everything and I actually gain weight. Or even, I don't know where to begin with my workouts. I just go to Orange Theory. I don't really know what to do in the gym alone. Things like that. Now would be a great time for me to update you on my progress with GEM. GEM is a real food multivitamin that I've been taking for 6 months now, so I know a thing or two about how this works in the long term. So far, the biggest benefit I've seen from taking GEM is removing the stress of having to swallow a pill, which I just personally really hate because I choked on a pill a few years ago and I don't like pills anymore. I also have enjoyed eliminating the stress of just wondering how much of the vitamins in pills are actually even bioavailable. Because as a nutritionist, the truth is that pills, gummies, powders, they are full of synthetic ingredients and fillers, and they also can't deliver the powerful antioxidants or phytonutrients that real food can deliver. You can tell that it's real food because Sesame's always trying to eat my GEM bite. For me, I just love knowing that I'm eating real food that is formulated for optimal absorption, because it's truly not just about what you eat or supplement with, but how much you actually absorb. For example, one of my favorite ingredients in the GEM bite is turmeric, which I've taken in pill form to help fight inflammation. But it's super nice to have it in the GEM bite now, along with 20 plus other vitamins, minerals, prebiotics, probiotics, and superfoods. And to be honest, you guys, these bites taste freaking incredible. I mean, I have to like stop myself from having 2 in one day and remember that this is actually a vitamin and not just a snack. Right now, GEM is offering a special deal off your first month. You can go to dailygem.com/AprilVictoria and use my code AprilVictoria at checkout. So where does the block come in stage 1? As you can see that in this graph, it starts to go down. It's going down into a valley. And on the way, you've started your weight loss journey, you're in it, you start seeing some initial results. You're going into a new stage, and this is your first barrier you hit that could potentially lead to you self-sabotaging your health and your results. This is when you might have come into this expecting to lose like 2 pounds a week like your taller friends, but as a petite, you're losing a half a pound to a pound a week and feeling like the results just aren't happening fast enough. At this stage, you start to feel frustrated that you're not seeing results faster. Like, why can't the 10 pounds just come off in a month like they do for our tall friends? You might feel frustrated that you've been tracking your calories and you're confused about parts of it, or you just don't want to do it, or you don't know if it's right for you. You start to second guess the things that you're doing that are working, although they're working at a slightly slower rate than you expected and hoped for. And then the doubt creeps in. This is your first barrier. Is this really going to work for me as a petite? If your expectation is too high and you're not informed about what realistic long-term progress looks like for a petite, you could start to doubt yourself at this stage and self-sabotage, quit, and then gain the weight back. Now, as you can see, we are moving down the valley into stage 2, informed pessimism. We have arrived at barrier number 2. If you're watching this video and you've already started a weight loss journey and you've been through that initial sort of disillusionment, you could be at stage 2, where emotionally you're feeling like, this is too hard. This is too hard for the lifestyle I want to live. I'm not seeing results fast enough. Mind you, these are just emotions. These aren't facts, right? These are just things you're feeling at this stage. So at this stage, you might have seen some initial weight loss, but now you're struggling with new things. Things like consistency, backsliding, self-sabotage, plateaus, and of course, self-trust. Can I really do this? This is where I hear a lot of clients say, like, I've lost some weight and that's great and everything, but I'm still not where I want to be. And it's only been a few weeks or even a few months. That's not a lot of time. I have to remind you, we want things instantly, but really good, amazing progress in a few weeks, in a few months, turns to that in a few years. But in this stage 2, in this informed pessimism, you're starting to really self-sabotage because you're not sure what the next path looks like. I'll often hear questions like, do I really have to track macros forever? The answer is no. Do I adjust this when life gets busy? I know I'm making progress, but I'm afraid of losing it. So that sort of scarcity mindset. I feel stuck. Why am I plateauing? These are all things that I went through in my journey too. I lost that initial 10 pounds and I was like, oh my God, what do I do now? It was like a panic set in after you achieve that first goal. What do I do now? Do I have to keep doing that? Do I change it? Do I stay the course? There's all these programs out there. The overwhelm creeps in. Really, at this stage too, what you need to be doing is actually doubling down on your habits, consistency, and the boring stuff, majoring in the majors instead of the minors. So not focusing on little things like supplements or spinning out and crashing out, but just getting to basics, hitting your macros, getting your good basic nutrition as a petite, doing your workouts, and starting to hone in and build self-confidence that you can live this as a lifestyle. It's simple, but not easy. But if you don't do this, you end up sinking further into the valley of despair. That's such an intense word for this. Now, this is stage 3. This completes this cycle of what I call the false start cycle. So many people stay stuck in the loop from 1, 2, and 3, and then they just start over at 1 again. They never actually get to stage 4 and 5 where they come out of the valley. You can see they'll go down and then just right back up to uninformed optimism. This is like, honestly, like January special, right? It's like new year, new me. I'm gonna do this thing. You don't do the thing. You crash and burn. You lose self-confidence. You blame yourself instead of the plan. And you wait until you're remotivated to try all over again another time when it feels inspiring again. Truly, the valley of despair is when you give up. Especially if you're someone who's always identified as struggling with losing weight or having a slow metabolism, or you think things like, I just can't lose weight like my taller friends. Your identity may start to clash with this new version of yourself that you're trying to build, this new healthier, leaner version of you. At this point in the valley of despair, you may gain the weight back and just feel hopeless or kind of doomed, and just you start to become jaded about the process. You give up. I personally stayed stuck in cycles 1, 2, and 3 for my entire life until I went through and really looked at my own habits and behaviors and hired help. I really spent so many years wondering why I didn't just have the body I wanted. I did so much cardio. I did so much HIIT workouts, high intensity interval training. I did, so much restriction. Why wasn't I losing the weight, and why couldn't I keep it off? I would restrict for an event, get skinny to fit in a dress, and then be bloated a week later. I just could not figure it out. I couldn't hack the system. And so I personally spent many years stuck in that loop, feeling like crap about myself. And it is so normal if you've been stuck in that washing machine to slowly just have your confidence eroded over time because you feel like there's no way to do it for you and you start to resign. So it's normal if you've been through this a few times, but I want to tell you that you can break through the valley of despair and come up on the other side of this valley with a critical change. I'm going to tell you in a second what that is. I'm also going to say that even once you get out of the valley of despair, there's going to be barriers, 2 more barriers that are still going to be in your way at each stage. Even as you're growing, learning, and changing your body, there's always going to be barriers that you do need to overcome that could still keep you slipping back. At stage 4, we start to ride the wave back up towards informed optimism. This is the point where I start to see the aha moment settle in for my clients. Because now they know how to lose the weight, but they're equipped with the tools, with realistic expectations. They've recalibrated what success looks like as a petite. And they've learned the science behind their petite body type, so they feel confident that what they're doing really does work. In other words, when you're coming out of the valley of despair and in towards the stage 4 of informed optimism, it's a different place than when you are in stage 1, uninformed optimism, because at informed optimism, you're now equipped with the tools and the beginning changes to how you see yourself, that you can make a change that's sustainable, and you have all of the pieces starting to come together. You understand how having support skyrockets your results. You understand the science behind your body. You're starting to see it all gelling, and it's starting to have a breakthrough moment for you. You're basically on the way to building this identity permanently. I will also say the first 3 months of your body recomp, when you lose weight, you can lose the weight in those 3 months, but it just doesn't end there. The next, 6 to 18 months are all about lifestyle and building consistency and practicing what you learned in the first 3 months. And then beyond that, it is about 3 to 4 years to have a full identity change. So you're ideally practicing your new healthy habits for a couple years before you can totally stop thinking about everything, as I have. At stage 4, there's still gonna be barriers. And so the fourth barrier you might have, say you're someone watching this who's been through this and you're like, I think I'm starting to get it, I'm on the up. Now you need to be aware that you can't have an all or nothing mindset. You're gonna learn that if you go into the weekend thinking I need to be perfect and then you're not, you can't just throw it all out the window. It's gonna be about practicing resilience and not blocking yourself from those long-term results. At this stage, you're also gonna be transitioning from probably tracking your calories or tracking in some capacity. It doesn't always have to be numbers. There's a lot of different ways and tools for tracking and monitoring your hunger, but you're probably gonna be moving more into what I call educated eating, where you're not as tied to targets because you intuitively, educatedly know them. You're also starting to redefine your weight goals and your fitness goals beyond just weight loss because you've achieved those initial goals and you're starting to see yourself as capable, strong, healthy, and you're starting to see bigger possibilities for yourself at this stage. So I'd say the biggest barrier at stage 4 is truly your mindset and practicing consistency. And at stage 5, we have arrived. Stage 5 is success and fulfillment. However, the barrier that you experience when you reach your goal weight and you've maintained it for many years is still kind of a mind F. You get to this point where you're like, well, I achieved my goal, now what? I don't have a goal now. If you get to stage 5 and you saw it as a finish line, you're likely still gonna revert to old habits and gain the weight back, but you're gonna gain it back slower because it's gonna be a slow diminishing of things you've built. So at all parts of the 5 stages in the emotional cycle of change, there's going to be barriers that can keep you stuck, skinny fat, overweight, unhappy. And if you're not aware of your own emotional psychology at the time and where you are in this graph, you could unknowingly and subconsciously just resort back to these old patterns of behaviors. So I want to know from you really quick, just checking in, where do you think you are in the emotional cycles of change? Which phase are you in and which barriers do you think you're facing right now? I realized that I was in phase 5 only recently when I fell out of track of my normal eating routines and nothing happened. I didn't overeat. I don't even have the desire to indulge that much because I don't like the feeling of being that sickly full. I used to be very stuck doing that many years ago and binge eating and out of control. I don't exercise in order to burn calories. I don't exercise in order to have certain foods that I want to have. I go through my life knowing that it's chill. Nothing I eat, no single thing I eat and no single workout I do matter that much. It's the daily deposits, it's the daily work that adds up, and that allows me to have a lot of flexibility and peace of mind. But you can only get here through the reps, like literally and figuratively. And if you're trying to do this alone, what I've also noticed at stage 5 is you've gone through such a journey. You may have even done some things in that time that your friends aren't doing, like cut out alcohol or just taken a different path. And as you get healthier and as you start to change your lifestyle, you go deeper into this hole where it feels lonelier and there's fewer and fewer people around you that are doing what you're doing. And that's why at that point, community is so important, that you have like-minded petites around you that are like, hey, I'm doing this too. I'm here, I'm with you. And to help normalize that, because it's your goal, it's your life. You don't need to be doing what your friends are doing, but sometimes it can feel like really lonely if it's, you're deep in this journey and no one around you really kind of knows what's going on in your life. That's one of the most powerful things about getting help that has a really great community. And even if it's just your friends, but especially as a petite, it can be a lonelier journey because everything we've read and digested has a completely different expectation than what the reality is of how weight loss looks on the petite body type. It takes longer, that's okay. We have to eat a little bit differently with a smarter strategy rather than just less. We need to train differently to optimize our metabolism. All these things are important and can help make the journey, if you have support, a lot easier and more palatable and help it be lasting change. So look, if you're in any of these parts of your journey and you just want to talk to someone about it and figure out why you're stuck, you can absolutely book a 20-minute quick call with me and my team. We hop on these calls all the time and talk to petites just about where they're at. 100% zero obligation to do anything from this call. We won't pitch you. Nothing happens on the call. We just talk to you. If you're a good fit, we can talk about working together. If not, we'll give you some information, set you up for success with your next steps, refer you out, whatever. But if you're stuck, just book a zero obligation call with us as Petite. We can see if we can help fill some of those gaps for you, because why not? You literally have nothing to lose, right? So let me know in the comments what you think of this video. I'm really, really fascinated by the psychology of real identity change, real change that takes years, and how to make it easier and funner along the way. And I'm curious if anyone is kind of nerding out on this as well. I love the cycles of change graph. It changes my life and it perfectly maps out what I went through over the last decade, or pretty much my whole life, in my relationship with food and exercise. And I want to know what you think. So let me know below, and I'll see you guys next time.